What is the next immediate step which you see in any candidate journey? Once HR says them, yes, here is the offer letter, you are hired. What happens next? I will tell you from one of my experience, which I would love to have that as an experience for any organization whose employees would love that. The point is, it's all about company culture. When does the company culture get started in while you talk about an employee? Isn't it the first day? Yeah. Can I say the way I would distribute them all of the assets, the way I would provide them all the accesses, the way my onboarding team do the induction with them, is that what creates the experience for my employee? Have you seen some of the organization where all of these processes are fragmented by different departments? Departments are either not talking to each other, or HR function goes like this. Hey, offer letter is done. Candidate has come on the very first day. I will submit him, let's say, laptop. Okay. And once I have submitted the laptop, I will make him sit for next 4 hours to fill the documentation. Okay. Once they have filled the documentation, I will pass that candidate to IT team who will give them the assets. Then I will pass them to a different IT function who will give them, let's say, Gmail or Outlook credential. Okay. Let me tell you, I have been there. I have seen these kind of corporate structure. I have seen certain startups. I have been part of MNCs, and I have seen different kind of culture. To be very honest, the very first employee we onboarded, do you know the very first day how things went? This employee of ours, who is our second employee, asks us, hey, where is my laptop? And I'm telling him, because I'm the founder and I'm the first only working employee in the organization, and I'm telling him, which laptop would you like? And this person tells me a very heavy configuration of Mac. And I'm telling him, go on Amazon, go on Flipkart, just order it. Do you think he would have liked that? Okay. In the very same day, he asked me, hey, can I get a Outlook or Gmail account? And I'm telling him, you know what? I have not set it up yet. Maybe someone will set it up for you maybe tomorrow. Okay. And in the night, I'm doing that domain setup. Okay. Next, he asks me on the 30th day. What does he ask me? Tell him, someone will do it. Okay. It's of course, it's about two things. One thing is, you have this, you have people, you can do all this stuff. Second thing is, things are scarce. People are not there. Processes are not there. I was at a level where there was no process at all. Okay. But there are organizations who have people, who have process, who have assets, but still things are not streamlined. Okay. So what I'm going to talk about is how do you create the right experience on the very first day. As soon as candidate has received their offer letter, he is in your premise, you or she is in your premise. Okay. And how does onboarding, pre-onboarding, how does probation, does confirmation of the candidate happens. Okay. Uh, let's deep dive. So as far as we have heard from Chandan, thanks a lot that you showcased us one of the system which really can help organization hire fast, hire smart, and also you talked about a lot of AI stuff and all, where they can take help of AI screening, resume parsers, etc. That is all wonderful. But the actual process starts from here, where we have a candidate who has been given the offer, and on this candidate, probably what we do as the first task, as soon as he lands in your office, you can probably share them a digital pre-onboarding form. That digital pre-onboarding form would be very easy to set up within a, I would say, half an hour span of time instead of HR person sitting with them for 4 hours. I still remember around a year back, questioning our HR team itself. Hey, he has come the very first day. Why are you sitting with him for 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours? If you have to sit with them, do proper induction round. Do some sort of session that hey, these are our policy. These are the things we work. These are our culture, right? These are the things we care about. Instead of that, what I'm doing for 4 hours, documentation. Can that be changed going forward? Yes, it can be changed. Will we be able to do on a tool like HRMS? Yes. This is how you would see. So, onboarding form digital link goes to our candidate. He fills those details. And of course, if they have already provided all these documentation as part of their interview process and all, these gets preloaded so that they don't have to do double work. Right? So once they have uploaded all these documents, etc., provided all the basic details which a HR might need, from there on, we have all the data set in our system, which HR can go through. They can approve, reject any documents. They can validate some of the data sets, etc. And you would also be able to see that once they have approved everything from their side, from an underwriting perspective, basically, if things looks good, HR can also change the stage from pre-onboarding to onboarding, right? And while I talk about, hey, is there a possibility if organization have people, organization have processes, can they streamline all of their onboarding process in a single screen or in a single system? Yes, it is very much possible. If you would see over here, as soon as we put this candidate in the onboarding step, here are certain templatized tasks for different leads. And these are just not tasks. These are SLA-driven metrics. These will make sure that things are trackable internally as well, right? So you can see things like setup salary structure, manager introduction, induction session, issue laptops. All of these are going parallel to different departments. Your SLA time is reducing in terms of how many people have to help this candidate getting properly onboarded in the organization. So we are trying to move from a place where chaos is happening across 5 to 6 departments to a system where everyone is well informed what they have to do with respect to this candidate, right? Yeah. And once all of these parallel activities are being done by different departments, our candidate receives a proper credential in terms of they would be able to get from the system itself what is my Gmail, Outlook, what is my project management setup. There are different methodology. I don't want to go into technical. Otherwise, I would have said to you, hey, we would have user provisioning across 10 different systems as soon as one specific trigger gets into the system, right? So you can have a user provisioning record on Workday. You can have a user provisioning setup on Gmail. You can have something on, let's say, Outlook. You can have something set up on HRMS or payroll credentials itself, right? Now, once that is done, for each and every organization, of course, not for senior roles and all, but mostly what organization follow as a practice, initially they will put the candidate on probation. Okay. You might have heard a lot about performance management systems and all. Let me ask you this. When does actual performance management starts? Is it when your probation is complete, or is it the very first day when you get into probation? Right? So probably people have a feeling that hey, if you'll get started once, I'm confirmed in this organization. No. While you get into probation, your performance management system generally gets kicked in. Okay. So what we are going to showcase you right now is our employee portal. On employee portal, now candidate has filled their pre-onboarding form. They have submitted all the documents, etc. Everything is done. Now they would be able to see their profile. They would be able to see everything associated, like what all assets and all they have been given. Okay. And it's not about asset management and all. It's all about making sure that the candidate has a view where they can raise any request. They can see all the details, a single employee 360 kind of setup. And of course, from here, we will talk about loads of things, though assets are costly affair, but at the same time, we have ensured that with respect to entire employee engagement, entire asset life cycle could be managed on a platform like Salesforce. Right? They can request the asset, they can put a request for modification, they can put a request for some breakdown in assets. Any sort of organization, whosoever is delivering certain assets like laptop, mobile, if there are any malfunctions and all, those requests can be raised. Okay. And of course, all of the assets, issues which can come to your IT team or may be routed to your vendor, a specific vendor. we generally get, let's say, for example, laptop on the lease. If a problem arises, if an employee puts down a request, where those request goes, probably it could be routed to any vendor specific thing. And okay, so this was from a asset point of view. Okay, now we would move to our team in terms of whom you are reporting to, who is your manager, what manager can do, right? Now, the point is also, like I said, your performance generally gets mapped on the very first day if you are under the probation. So, our system will support you with certain kinds of templatized structure according to different job roles. What kind of insights a manager can capture from, let's say, 30 days, 60 days, or 90-day period of probation with respect to this candidate, and what kind of feedbacks they can give. Probably they will be the torch bearer in terms of, hey, whether this candidate needs to be confirmed, whether they have their probation period has to be extended, or maybe we would not like to continue with them. We would have to initiate the exit process then and there itself. So all of those configurations are only available in the hands of manager or any superior who is like a reporting manager to them, right? So post that, once manager has put their details, their feedbacks, etc., the candidate gets into confirmed stage, and this is the time where we would be able to say that, hey, we were able to deliver a very good experience to the candidate, not after probation, not after 90 days, but we started with a good experience on the very first day. He made sure that different team who used to work on the onboarding journey or roadmap of the candidate were very much streamlined. They had SLA-driven metrics set up in the system. Parallel processing were going on to make sure that this candidate has a good experience in our first day in our company, right? And also, it's not about being process orchestration in the right manner. It's also about tagging right SLAs, making sure we have right accountability with respect to different tasks which goes into the organization to have a smooth journey for this candidate. And it's also trackable and compliant, right? Uh, I think this is it.